Hey, Wisp here. So, I often read that people have issues with learning how to shield drop properly, as far as actually using it in a real game as opposed to something that you just mess around with, like, in practice or for fun for your solo tech skill or whatever. So, I figured since I learned to shield drop, in the past year or so and use it quite a bit, I'd just go over what I practiced and the tricks that I used to start using it in actual competitive games so that it just became second nature. So I chose Sheik because Sheik has really good shield drop options and she feels satisfying to shield drop with. And for the record, this is on UCF, but if you have a notch controller, all of this stuff will still work the same way, even if you're not playing on UCF at the moment. So the important thing for learning how to do a shield drop in a real game situation is having triggers where you use shield drop as your habit for that option. And so you want to practice the motion that you'll be getting into shield drop from, and then when you see it in neutral, you'll just do it. So the most obvious one is shield dropping out of a waveland onto a platform. So like if you're pressured in the corner, whatever, you're scared, you're spooked, you're over here, you waveland onto the platform, and when you do the waveland, you want to quickly move your control stick over so that you're holding in the direction that you're trying to shield drop. And the direction you want to hold is dependent on which direction you don't want to get shield poked from. Or you could play Sheik because their shield is huge. Doesn't matter. So you hold in that direction and then you just drop down. And everyone knows that. That's the shield drop method. But what you want to do is get into the habit of when you're escaping Fox on a platform, or escaping anyone really, you shield drop, or you waveland onto the platform and shield drop off. You don't even have to do the aerial yet, that's just your escape. You get onto the platform with this shield, and when they hit you, you get out of there. So in your practice, you want to practice that motion of going from being on the ground or whatever, doing whatever Sheik things you want to do, to get on the platform, shield drop. You do it to the left too. It's important to be able to do it on both sides. The muscle memory feels a little different. So that's number one. Number two is doing it out of a dash. So if you're on a platform, you should be able to dash, shield, and now I'm holding to the right, and you shield drop. Just like that. And so you want to practice doing your dash dance on the platform into shield drop. It's super important to be able to do that reliably, and it's a good mix-up to get out of pressure, because when you shield, you tell your opponent, hey, I'm guarding. So if your opponent isn't super sophisticated, they might swing at you because you're guarding, and that's your key out. So one of my tricks is that I'll do this during my opponent's invincibility. I'll go to the platform. I'm not grabbable, so they can just aerial me. So if I mess up, I get aerialed during their invincibility anyway, which isn't the end of the world. And I'll be, moving back and forth, like I might go to the top platform or something like this. But instead of that, you shield and then you drop and then you do more movement to the other side. So that's a trick that's not terribly hard to work on in practice. Just have it in your brain that you're gonna try shield dropping away from them chasing you down. So that works pretty well. For solo practice, and in general, but for practicing, what you also want to do is you want to get on the platform, and when you do your drop, you need to do your aerial as you drop. You can't do this thing where you shield drop and you're like, oh, I got it, and you hit the aerial on the way down, or you land and you're like, oh, well, this is weird. I've never shield dropped successfully in a tournament match before, right? So you want to practice trusting that you'll get the drop. It's important that when you're practicing, you're not doing the inputs such that you're trying to increase your consistency, and then when you get the drop, you do the aerial, because that'll train you to react to whether or not you succeeded. You want to not be reacting to your own execution, especially for something like this. You want to have the drop ready and just go. There's no way I can react to whether or not my shield drop will work. I'm literally doing the shield drop and moving my thumb to the C stick preemptively as I'm in my shield, and then, drop, aerial, drop, back air, drop, up air, whatever you want to do. Drop Sheik down air, not the most mainstream option. So that's pretty much it. Learn the situations in neutral where you want to do your shield drop, and make sure you're paying attention to whether you're doing it. And then your solo practice, just make sure that you're practicing your shield drop out of a movement. Don't just don't think of it in isolation. Just pretend there's an enemy there. I'm scared. I'm walling this fox out. I'm using my fairs. I'm using my back airs, and then I run away to the platform and then shield drop. Right? That's more of a just imagine a real situation that could actually happen. And I don't know. I practiced doing this. Now I'm a shield drop master. I shield drop all the time. Shield drop forever. So hope this helps someone out there learn how to shield drop properly. And thanks for watching.